Several weeks ago, the WBC made their ruling on Alexander Povetkin following a prolonged investigation into his failed drug test. And as I said in the video that I did about the WBC ruling, they did not exonerate Alexander Povetkin, and he was not cleared by the WBC or VADA of any wrongdoing. Basically, the gist of it is the results were inconclusive. And given how long they took to investigate, and given the fact that Povetkin is now on a 1-year probationary period, during which time, if he is found to have any type of banned substance in his system during this 1-year probationary period, he will be banned indefinitely. This is what the WBC said in their last statement. Now, given all that, and given the fact that he's now having to fight for the interim belt and not being given a shot at Wilder straight away, and also the fact that they haven't exonerated him, that at the very least shows the WBC are suspicious of Alexander Povetkin. Now, I'm going to read from the WBC's latest statement, which they've put out in the past couple of days, just in case any of you are under any doubts at all, because there have been some people out there saying Povetkin was cleared, he's been exonerated of any wrongdoing. Total and utter nonsense. He hasn't. I'm going to read this. This is the WBC themselves. I'm going to leave a link in the description below to this article written by the WBC because they want to make it perfectly clear what the situation is. It says here, for the avoidance of doubt, the WBC hereby states that the WBC ruling was not intended to convey and should not be construed as conveying a conclusion about whether Mr. Povetkin did or did not take meldonium after it became a banned substance on January 1st, 2016. In the WBC's own words, people, their ruling is not to be taken as Povetkin being cleared. It's also not to be taken as Povetkin being guilty. But it's certainly not to be taken as Povetkin being cleared of any wrongdoing. They're not saying that he didn't take drugs after, or take meldonium after it became banned. Yeah, as I said previously, they're basically saying that the results so far are inconclusive and they can't figure out whether he did or he didn't. There are some people who were speculating about perhaps Povetkin might have been microdosing. There is a method of taking performance-enhancing drugs called microdosing, where the amounts taken are so small that they can be flushed out of the system in a fairly quick fashion. So you be able to pass drug tests. If you got a drug test in the next couple of days, you might be able to take a microdose and then pass the drug test. I mean, I'm no expert on it, but people have spoken about it, and I think that's something worth looking into. And perhaps that's what the WBC suspect, because to have taken all the measures they've taken and to have taken the stance they've taken, they clearly are suspicious, at the very least. Yeah. One thing I can say, though, is the WBC are taking this drug testing thing a lot more seriously than the other sanctioning bodies seem to be doing at this point. And what I would like to see is some parity between the different sanctioning bodies. Because as it stands right now, for example, with Povetkin being on this probationary period, if he gets caught for anything within this probationary period, he'll be banned indefinitely. Yeah, now, just saying it again, if Povetkin was cleared, then there wouldn't be any probationary period. If Povetkin was cleared of any wrongdoing, then if he got caught again, or if he got caught and next time he was guilty, then they wouldn't be banning him indefinitely. They'd be giving him a particular time frame to be banned. Yeah. Anyway, back to the point I was about to make. I'd like to see parity in the sense that at the moment, if the WBC ban you, then it's only the WBC who have banned you. The WBA, the IBF, and the WBO, they'll let you fight for their titles more often than not, even if you've got a ban with the WBC. That's a problem. We need to have parity across all the sanctioning bodies, so if one sanctioning body bans a fighter, all of them follow suit. I know that's going to be very difficult to implement, and greed comes into it, and money and all that type of stuff, but if you don't at least postulate that idea, if you don't at least put it out there, then it will definitely never happen. For any positive change to come about, people need to put the ideas out there. And hopefully somewhere down the line, maybe decades down the line, it'll reach a snowball effect. But somebody has to start putting these type of ideas out there. And that's what I would like to see, parity. Because, for example, Luis Ortiz failed a drug test with the WBA for it was for nandrolone, the same substance which Tyson Fury allegedly tested positive for. Ortiz, I believe, did serve some type of ban, and the WBA bans seem to be, not very harsh at all. They're very lenient, the WBA, it seems, with their bans. So he served his ban, and now he's back with the WBA, fighting for interim belts and all types of stuff. I would like to see a situation where when the WBA banned him, all of the sanctioning bodies banned him at the same time. Yeah, he claims that he didn't take any performance-enhancing drugs. But don't they all say that? Tyson Fury is saying the same thing. And in some cases, people do get set up. In some cases, it can be a contaminated supplement, or they could get spiked by a jealous trainer or strength and nutrition coach who wants to get them back or whatever. You never know. Either way, I think we need parity across all the sanctioning bodies. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. The only other things to say are that Povetkin will likely be fighting Burmester. By the way, Povetkin's promoter, Rubinsky, who has been talking a lot of rubbish with regards to the Povetkin drug testing situation, because he's constantly been saying that Povetkin's been cleared of any wrongdoing when he hasn't. Absolute, complete rubbish. But Rubinsky, Povetkin's promoter, does know how to put on a good boxing show. He has put on some fantastic shows in the past couple of years, and he is looking to put Povetkin versus Burmester on the undercard of, let me find it here. Yeah, it's on the undercard of Lebedev versus Gassiev. Yeah? So Lebedev, Gassiev, top of the bill. That's a fantastic fight. Povetkin versus Stavern on the undercard. Another very, very interesting fight. So, credit where credit's due. Rubinsky, even though he might talk a lot of rubbish, he puts on good shows. So I'll definitely be tuning in for that one. He won the purse bid as well. That's what I meant to say. He won the purse bid on Friday, I think it was. So, he was always going to win the purse bid. It wasn't even a particularly big bid. I think it was about $3 million, the bid. And for somebody like Rubinsky, that's chicken change. Don King was never going to outbid him. Let's be real. Don King is washed up in the sport of boxing. And that's definitely a good thing. So, yeah, the fight will likely take place in Russia on the undercard of Lebedev versus Gassiev. So let me know what you think about everything I talked about in this video.